Great. Well, thank you all for coming to our webinar about the Borlaug Field Award nominations. I'm Ellen Franzenburg, and we'll kind of go through a presentation, and at the end, if you have any questions, you can either put them in the chat, or you can actually unmute yourself, or even turn your camera on and just go ahead and ask any questions you have. So we're going to get started. Like I said, my name is Ellen Franzenburg. I'm the Director of Awards and Lectures at the World Food Prize Foundation. This is my contact information, so you have that in case you have any questions after the webinar that I can answer for you. We'll come back to this slide at the end too. But the Borlaug Field Award is actually, the full name is the Norman Borlaug Award for Field Research and Application, endowed by the Rockefeller Foundation. But that is a very long name, so we usually shorten it to the Borlaug Field Award. And this award recognizes exceptional science-based achievement in agriculture and food by an individual under the age of 40. And it's a $10,000 cash prize. We give one Borlaug Field Award every year since 2012, when we did our first, when we did this the first time. So the Borlaug Field Award was established in partnership between the World Food Prize Foundation and the Rockefeller Foundation to honor Dr. Norman Borlaug, our founder, and who had a huge role, of course, in the Rockefeller Foundation's history, and who had a great commitment to lifting up young people and young researchers in food and agriculture and bringing them into be hunger fighters. So that is why we wanted to put out an award, a global award for young researchers who are kind of at the beginnings of their careers. So the award ceremony for the Borlaug Field Award is every October around World Food Day, October 16th. And we hold it in conjunction with the International Borlaug Dialogue that we have here in Des Moines, Iowa, every year. So this year, the Borlaug Dialogue is going to be October 24th through 26th. And that is when we're going to have our Borlaug Field Award ceremony, the World Food Prize Laureate Award ceremony, and lots of other things going on around that week, the symposium, everything. So how we do that. So I'm going to kind of go through what our criteria are and the requirements for submitting a nomination. So for a nominee, when you're thinking of who to nominate, it should, of course, be an individual under the age of 40. We only do single nominations, so only one individual per nomination. We don't do combine one or more individuals into one nomination, so just one person at a time. And it should be, the nominee should have a science-based achievement, whether they're a researcher or working on technology or something like that. They should currently be actively working in their discipline or area of work. And they should be working in the field. So at the production or the processing level with farmers or processors or traders or other people especially in rural communities. And of course, it can be at any point in the food system. So plant science or soil science or animal veterinarian. As you can see the photo there of the 2020 Borlaug Field Award recipient Salma Sultana teaching a class, veterinary class. And many more options there. It can be quite a broad range of possible nominees for the Borlaug Field Award. For the criteria that we are really especially looking at are these these 9 qualities: persistence, innovation, communication, research or science, extension, education, application, leadership, and impact. So we're looking for someone who has good qualities in all of these. And these are the words, the key phrases that you're going to want to think of when you're putting together a nomination. So any individual or organization can nominate someone for the Borlaug Field Award. If a nomination is coming from an organization, it's good if that nomination is endorsed by an executive officer or a senior official of the organization who can kind of speak with the organization's voice. But an individual could also be a nominator. The nominators should have a direct knowledge of the nominee's work and provide examples and sources for the work that they've done and the impact that they've had. Self-nominations cannot be accepted, so the nominator needs to be a different person from the nominee. So the basic information that we will need to start off a nomination is the contact information for the nominator, as well as the contact and biographical information for the nominee. So we're going to ask for a CV or resume, and of course the date of birth to help us know that the nominee is still under the age of 40, and then the country of origin of the nominee. So the nominee has to be under the age of 40 when they receive the award. So in October of this year, still 39 or under. So the statement of work is kind of the main document here. There's a 3,000 word limit for the statement of work, but if you list your sources, that doesn't count toward that 3,000 word limit. But this statement is going to describe the nominee's work and their accomplishments, giving details, examples, detailing the impact of that work, and also how the nominee demonstrates those 9 qualities that we talked about on the earlier slide. We also ask for 1 nomination letter from the nominator and 2 letters of support from others. We only ask for 2 letters of support. We won't accept more than 2 supporting letters. And of course, these letters can be on letterhead, signed, dated, including the writer's position and organization, just like you would with any support letter or recommendation letter. And then the letters can go into detail about the writer's relationship to the nominee, how they know of their work, giving examples of their work or achievements or impacts. So it's good to have a detailed support letters that really emphasize the nominee's qualities. We ask for 1 headshot photo of the nominee, and optionally you can include 2 additional action photos, and those can include if those would include captions so that we can tell what's going on in the photo, that would be ideal. And then once you have all of this information put together and ready to go, you can submit it online. We have an online submission portal called Reviewer, and you can see the web link down at the bottom of the screen there, worldfoodprize.org/Borlaug Field Award. And so you will create an account and password on Reviewer so that this lets you save your nomination before you're finished and come back to it if you need to. So you can log in and keep working on it. And then you'll upload each of the documents separately and make sure you upload everything and then click the submit button and it will go straight to me. So and you should get an email confirmation from Reviewer that tells you that the nomination has been received. So. All right, and I want to just go through our process here for you so that you have an idea of what the timeline is. Our deadline for submission is June 15th. That is a hard deadline. I can't really give extensions to that deadline, so be aware that that is the deadline. Nominees can remain eligible beyond the year that they're nominated if they're still under the age of 40. And then after I receive the nominations, they are evaluated by an independent jury of experts chaired by Dr. Ronnie Kaufman, who is an emeritus professor at Cornell University. He was also Dr. Borlaug's one PhD candidate student. So in August or September is when we will make the public announcement of the recipient. And then October 25th is the date of the Borlaug Field Awards ceremony, where here in Des Moines, Iowa, we will present the award to the winner in person. So that kind of concludes my presentation. And if you have any questions, I encourage you to either put them in the chat, and Rachel will tell me if they're in the chat, or to just unmute yourself and introduce yourself and ask a question now. But if you leave this webinar and you think of a question after that, feel free to contact me directly. My contact information is up there on the screen, and the link to our criteria and the submission portal is up there too. So let me know if you have any questions.
Hi, Ellen. Thank you so much. Hi, this is Maya from Amsterdam. I work for East West Seed. And yes, thank you for this very informative presentation. I just wanted to ask, because I'm working as in the public affairs department, so I would like to submit a nomination of a colleague who I do work with, but not super closely. And I wanted to ask your opinion on whether that would affect the application directly, and if it's maybe better to have someone fill it in who is more close to her, and yeah, that kind of
So when you submit a nomination, the person who actually puts everything together and submits it through the nomination portal does not have to be the same person as the nominator. So you could get somebody to be the nominator and write that beautiful nomination letter with all of the great glowing, review of their work, and have people do the supporting letters, but maybe not yourself be the person who is the nominator. That is perfectly fine if you're the one just putting it together, or writing the statement of work and working on it that way. So yeah, so the person who actually submits the nomination doesn't have to be the same person as the nominator. No.
Super, thank you.
Hi, Alan. This is Subramanian from SAP. Nairobi. Thanks for the very informative presentation on exactly what is required for the nomination. My question is on just a clarification. The 3,000 words limit is for the text that goes into the nomination, and if I add a set of references or publications, that will not count into the 3,000 words. That's one thing. And the second one is in terms of attachments. Is it also advisable that we attach some of the major publications or work of the nominated person, or we can just use, or that is not something which you're looking for? Thank you.
We do not accept attached documents to that. So, for example, if your nominee has published research papers, things like that, the appropriate way to do that would be to put that full list, or the list of the important publications, in their CV. Or if you reference them directly in this statement of work, you can put them as sort of a works cited at the bottom of the statement of work, but we won't accept the full document, the full paper to be submitted to us. So it would just be, a reference to the paper, but you wouldn't actually submit me the paper. Does that make sense?
I think that's so helpful.
Okay, great. Other questions? All right. Well, if there are no other questions, I think that we can kind of wrap it up here. Thank you, everybody, for coming and listening to this little webinar about our Borlaug Field Award. And of course, if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me at my email address there, my number. And I hope to see a nomination from each of you. So thank you. Have a great day.